What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Armored Warfare, where today we're going to be having a very quick look and a little chat about the new patch that's just dropped, or at least it dropped on Thursday. If you're watching this video when it goes on the day it goes live on my channel, it is Saturday. I was hoping to play it on Thursday night, but unfortunately, as with every single patch, it seems it was delayed. The live server was delayed going back up. And as such, I think the patch was only available to download like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or something. So I didn't get to download it in time to play it on Thursday night. So I had to just wait until I went to bed and download it then. But anyways, so it's Friday night now. I've been playing it a bit. We're going to be taking a look, unfortunately, just at one game in the Ariete. And it is thankfully on the new map. There was a second game. A really awesome second game in the Tier 6 B1 Centauro tank destroyer. Unfortunately, Shadowplay completely messed up the recording, recorded everything else perfectly tonight except that, and I didn't have replays on for Armored Warfare. Those are going to be on from now on as a backup in case. And speaking of replays, that's obviously one of the big features that came with the 0.14 update, and because you guys can now get replays of your epic, awesome Armored Warfare games, I now invite you from now on, if you have one, feel free to send it in and maybe you'll get a chance to be featured on my channel. Now, in order to switch them on, in case you don't know, head up here, there's this little view replay button, turn it on, record matches, and then it will record all your games. To get your actual replay files, if you want to send one to me, click on this open containing folder and it will take you there. I think each replay contains 2 files, and they're fairly big. I think they're about 7 megs. So that's, yeah. Anyway, so that's why I turned it off, because there was, all these replays. It was nearly 100 megs already. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this. I got Shadowplay. Yeah. See how that worked out. But anyways, so from now on, that's going to be on. Just in case Shadowplay screws me over again, because the Centauro match was really awesome. But anyway, so let's head off to the Ariete gameplay. I'll talk a little bit more about sending in replays once the gameplay starts, and then some thoughts so far on the 0.14 update. Alright, so welcome to the gameplay. We are on the new map, as I said, but before we get started, let's just quickly chat about sending in replays. Email is in the description down below. It's predator458@gmail.com. Send in both files, give it a name or whatever, and please send in screenshots of the results. So the initial page of the results and then the team score. Those are the only 2 I really need. So send those in, and yeah, I would say limit your replays to PvP. If you have an absolutely epic, spectacular PvE match where your team died within 5 minutes and you had to then carry it and you did 30,000-40,000 damage, then sure, send that in. But for the most part, PvE is quite easy to have a good result in. So, I mean, if you really want to send it in, go ahead, but I can't make any promises that I'm going to show it. That goes for any and all replays. I will watch them, I'll see what I can do, but I can't make any promises. And we've got this Leopard 2A6 and Terminator being retarded. Paying no attention to that. But anyway, so send them in, and I will try and feature as many as I can, as quickly as I can. But as I said, with this new job, I don't know how much time I'm going to have. And I would like my gameplay content to remain the more frequent Armored Warfare content on this channel. But anyway, so the new map. Just looking at it, kind of, stop giving us these corridor shooters, please. Shot into the M1A2, unfortunately, should have aimed a little bit further back. But I mean, you've got these huge maps, or these decently sized maps, and then almost none of it can be used because there's hills and all this stuff and all these little corridors. I wish they would move away from this this map design, but I'm sure they will in the future. But I mean, it looks like a pretty cool map. And we get it Unfortunately not. Even with the, what's 0.06 or 0.5 or whatever accuracy on this gun, at these kind of ranges, hitting weak spots is just quite difficult. But speaking of weak spots, that brings us nicely into one of the big changes of 0.14, something that a lot of people were very keen on, and it is the not necessarily rebalancing of higher tiers, but the update to higher tier game mechanics to try and lessen the pixel hunting that was going on. And here I decided to turn around because I can see two Challenger 2s have pushed around through our spawn, so they're coming up behind us. I'm going to go and try and help out. But obviously they have now tried to lessen the pixel hunting that was happening at tier 7, 8, and 9. Now, I was a little bit concerned about this because the point of playing main battle tanks is that you have armor. And if you don't have armor, what's the point in playing them? You know, they're blind as a bat, they're slow, they're not maneuverable. Yes, they've got, you know, good guns, but so do light tanks now, because obviously light tanks have gotten a buff. So do tank destroyers. Tank destroyers also got a buff. Why are you going to play a main battle tank over a light tank or a tank destroyer? And the answer is the armor. So I was a little bit concerned. And Challenger 2 got aside. We take a snapshot, and we do manage to pen 501 damage. Unfortunately, Warrior comes up behind us. He does 300 damage. We reverse into him, and we finish him off with ramming damage. But I was worried because they were, you know, changing all the weak spots, making them easier to hit, easier to penetrate. There is obviously the hilarious bug right now where the Leopard 2A6 tier 9 and look straight through, no problem on this Abrams. Something I've heard, like the whole Abrams line, M1, M1A1 and M1A2, that driver's hatch is so easy to hit now. Because it used to be, the weak spot used to be the lip. Now it's like the entire triangle, so it's a lot easier to hit, and you're just going to see it. Yeah, I'm just putting round after round through it, which is nice for me, probably not that nice for the Abrams driver. And of course it doesn't help that he keeps showing me his side. But I mean, there's this hilarious bug where the tier 9 Leopard 2A6 can be penetrated for full damage by a tier 1 PT76, but that is a bug. So it's not like that for all vehicles, although as I said, the Abrams is you know, it is quite easy to hit that. I mean, you don't hit it there because he is reversing. T90 MS doesn't seem to be too affected. It was already one of the easier ones to penetrate from the front, in my opinion. The lower front plate was not difficult to penetrate. And there he does manage to put a shot through, but he comes and face hugs us, so he really can't miss his weak spot. Now we're going to quickly rush up here and try and get behind these Challenger 2s. The Challenger 2, I haven't actually had to shoot one yet. Challenger 1 actually got some buffs in that all of the turret weak spots seem to have been eliminated. However, the driver's hatch is now a weak spot for other tier 7s, although it doesn't, from what I've experienced briefly so far, it doesn't seem to be the actual driver's hatch itself, but like the armor along the bottom of the tunnel leading towards the driver's hatch. That seems to be the weak spot. But anyway, so we're trying to get around this Challenger 2, shot in, and we finish him off, saving our friend. And here comes the other Challenger, but unfortunately there's artillery. He's got pretty much full health, twice as much health as we do, but we're now going to engage in a little game of ring around the rosies, and for the most part I'm going to come out on top. But overall, I actually quite like it. It has made things a lot less irritating at the high tiers. You still have to know where to shoot, which is kind of what I was worried that it would that they would overdo it and you could just penetrate tier 9 and 8, 9 main battle tanks anywhere and it wouldn't matter anymore. But that's not really the case. He does 700 damage to me, and artillery is going to finish us off now. So that's this gameplay. 7,000 damage, not bad at all. Let's head off to the results and see how we landed up doing. And in the end, it was a victory. And let me tell you, it was close at the end. We nearly didn't win that one. We earned ourselves 6,500 reputation, 237,000 credits for doing just under 7,100 damage, 3 kills, and 4 spots. coming third place on the team behind the Crab and the Leo, and the top damage overall. Crab very nearly beat us with 6,500, but I mean best tier 8, so not too bad. And while I can't show you the Centauro gameplay, I can show you the results. 4,435 reputation, 190, call it 192,000 credits on a defeat, 5,240 damage, 7 kills, 11 spots, ace tanker, iron cross, and recon medal. Just look at the team score. I mean, over twice as much damage as anyone else. Top damage on the enemy team was 3,600, so we did fantastically well. And when I realized Shadowplay had messed up that recording, I nearly cried. I nearly cried. But anyways, it won't happen again. I will now, from now on, leave the replay system on and just delete every night the replays that I don't need. But yeah, that about concludes my little look at this new patch at 0.14, largely revolving around, at least so far, my impressions revolving around the high tier game mechanics changes and the fact that tier 7, 8, and 9 main battle tanks are easier to penetrate from the front now, if you know where to shoot, and it works quite well, actually, which is a good thing, because as I said, I was very worried. But again, once more, if you have an epic, awesome Armored Warfare replay, please feel free to send it to me. Email in the description down below. PvP only, unless it is a super epic 1 in a million PvE match. Yeah, send in both files. Send in screenshots like you see here of the 2 different score screens at the end, and I will try and feature it as soon as possible for you guys. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what all you guys can do in Armored Warfare without, pings of 200 and packet loss and all of that. You guys can, now it's your turn. It's your time to show me up and show the world what you guys can really do. But anyways, that is about it from me, and I hope you enjoyed this look at patch 0.14. If you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more Armored Warfare, World of Warships, and a few other things that are thrown to the mix from time to time. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.